Hello everyone, welcome to my session on second generation managed packages. Before we start, I would like to thank you all the coordinators of Park Dreamin for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And let's start with the session. Myself Ranjini Janardhanan, I am working as a solution architect at UST. I am a Salesforce certified system and application architect, also a trailhead ranger. I am also leading the Kochi Women in Tech community group. Let's see the points for discussion today. I will be explaining what is a package and what are the differences between first generation managed packages and second generation managed packages. What are the prerequisites for creating a 2GP managed package? What are the different types of ORs that we need for creating the 2GP managed package? I will also be giving a demo on different types of ORs and also how we can create a 2GP package. What are package ancestors in terms of 2GP? What are the best practices that you should keep in mind while creating a 2GP package? And what are the advantages and non-gaps for 2GP packaging? What are packages? Package you can consider as a container for metadata. It can contain a set of related features, customizations and schema. You can use packages to move metadata from one Salesforce org to another. As you add or remove or update the package metadata, you are creating many package versions. Each package version will have its own version number and the subscribers can install new package version into their org through a package upgrade. You can also distribute the package to your customers via AppExchange. Before we actually go into the comparison between 1GP and 2GP, let's see what do they have in common. They both share the key packaging concept of associating metadata with a package, and they both allow you to iterate and create package and package versions, which can be installed and uninstalled in subscriber orgs. Both managed package types will enable you to submit for package review on AppExchange and you can list the package on AppExchange. Both managed package types can use license management app, subscriber support console and feature management app. Now let's see the differences. There are so many differences between 2GP and 1GP. First one is the source of truth. Source of truth in case of 1GP is the packaging org itself, whereas in case of 2GP it is a version control system. Second one is the owner. The owner of the package in case of 1GP is the packaging org, whereas in case of 2GP it will be the DevHub org. The namespace creation will have to be in the packaging org itself in case of 1GP, whereas in case of 2GP we have a separate org for namespace creation, that is namespace org, and we will have to connect the namespace org with the DevHub. Code sharing can be done only with the global Apex class in case of 1GP, whereas public Apex classes and methods with namespace accessible annotation can be shared across the packages in 2GP. Only one package per namespace is allowed in 1GP, whereas you can create multiple packages with the same namespace in 2GP. 1GP packaging process cannot be completely automated, but that's not the case with 2GP. 2GP packaging can be completely automated. Only linear versions are possible in 1GP, but 2GP is supporting branch versions. Next is the patch versions. In case of 1GP, you need patch ops to create patch versions, but patch ops are not required in case of 2GP. Now let's see what are the prerequisites for creating a 2GP package. You need to enable DevHub in your DevHub org, and also you need to enable second generation managed packages. You need to install Salesforce CLI. You need to have a namespace org and you need to create the namespace and register the namespace. Please note that namespace is global, you cannot reuse. The next permission that we need is we need to assign the required permissions to the developers. Developers either need the system admin profile or the create and update second generation managed packages permission in the DevHub org. I will be explaining all these different types of orgs in detail later. Let's see the different types of orgs that we need to create second generation managed packages. First one is a DevHub org. DevHub org will act as the owner for all the second generation managed packages that we create. This is also used for linking the namespaces. Also, we need this org credentials to run force package commands. The next one is the namespace org. The primary purpose of the namespace org is to create the namespace. After we create the namespace, we will need to link the namespace org to the DevHub org. Other orgs are like scratch orgs and the target orgs. You can create scratch orgs on the fly to use while testing your packages, and target or installation orgs is where you install the package after creation.
Let's see a demo on the org setup and the steps for creating a 2GP managed package. I have created a DevHub org and a namespace org here. This is my DevHub org. Log into the DevHub org and go to the setup in DevHub org and search for DevHub. So you will reach this page and you can see the options to enable DevHub and also the option for enable unlocked packages and second generation managed packages. Enable both these options. After that, let's go to the namespace org. So this is my namespace org. Go to setup and search for package manager. This is the package manager page, and from here you can enable packaging and also you can create the namespace. Here I have already created the namespace, as you can see. While creating the namespace for 2GP, you need to make sure that if you are going to create the namespace for testing purpose, make sure you are not using the real namespace, because namespace is unique. You cannot reuse it. So now we have the namespace. Let's go back to the DevHub org. Go back to the DevHub org and search for namespace registries. So the namespace registries tab will be open. It's a tab, and you can see I have already linked my namespace org to the DevHub, and you can see the namespace prefix as well. If you want to link the namespace org, link your namespace org, you can click on the link namespace button and give the credentials. Okay, that's it about the org setup.
Next, let's see the actual package creation steps. Open your Visual Studio Code. I have opened the Visual Studio Code and the folder where I am planning to create the package. You can see the folder demo here. Now let's create the project. I'm creating the project with manifest. This command will actually create a Park demo folder and the Park Daemon project. And you can see the namespace is also added. Okay, it got created. You can see the Park demo folder and the Park Daemon project. You can see the project JSON, that is namespace is added as Park Dream Park. Now let's authorize the DevHub. This is a command to authorize the DevHub. Use this set default DevHub username only when you are authorizing a DevHub. fully logged in. And you can see the message. Now let's authorize our developer org. Before that, move to the ParkDreamin folder where we have the ParkDreamin project. Then let's authorize our development org. For demo purpose, I am using the namespace org itself. Please use scratchogs for the actual development. Okay. Our developer org also got successfully authorized.
Before the actual package creation, just wanted to show you 3 fields that I have created in order to include in the package. I have also updated the package XML with these 3 fields as I am planning to add this into the package that we are going to create. Let's create the package. This is the package create command. So we are going to create the package named Dream Demo 3. Okay, the package got created. The next step is to retrieve the components that we are planning to include in the package. So I am using this command to retrieve the components. We can see the components got retrieved successfully. Next, let's create the first package version. So this is the package version command. Will get created after some time. Okay, you can see the request is in progress, and also you can see the status in initializing. Okay, the package version got successfully created, and you can see the URL for package installation, and we can use this URL to install the package. Please note that this will be a beta version of the package. This package will be released as managed version only after promoting the package. Let's copy this package installation URL and try to install in our developer org. Please note the installation key for installing the package. You can see the package is beta. Okay, the installation is complete. Next step is to promote the package into managed released version. Before that, let me show you the project JSON file. You can see the Dream Demo 3 package and the first beta version. Now let's promote the package into beta released version. So this is the command. And we need to copy the same version that you are seeing here. It will again ask you for permission before it actually gets promoted. Okay, let's give Y. You can see the message successfully promoted the package version ID to released. So finally we have the packaged released version, first version of our package Dream Demo 3. That's it, how we are creating a second generation managed package.
Hope you all understood how we can create 2GP packages. Now let's see package ancestors in terms of 2GP. Here you can see released major and minor versions of a package and released patch versions. So when we are creating each versions of the package, you can define the package ancestor. When we define an ancestor for the package, they inherit the manageability rules of the specified ancestor package. When you create a package version, you can define the ancestor version of the package, or you can even provide the ancestor ID, or even you can provide the ancestor package alias. Only package versions that have been promoted to managed released state can be listed as an ancestor. Next, let's see the best practices for 2GP. The first one is for a DevHub. Work with only one DevHub. It is better to enable the DevHub in your partner business org itself. Next one is use a tag option when you use the package version create or package version update commands. This will help you keep the version control system tags and the package versions in sync. Next is create user-friendly aliases for package IDs and include those aliases in your Salesforce DX project file when running the CLI packaging commands. Make use of the scratch-offs and other source control systems for development instead of namespace org for development. Always test using the beta package before you actually upgrade the package. What are the advantages and non-gaps for 2GP? Let's see the advantages first. The first one is you can define a single namespace for your company and use it for all the packages that you develop. Even if it is a sales related application or a service related application or any other application, you can use the same namespace. The next one is with 2GP, you can build your application as separate modules. With smaller functional modules, they are always easy to develop, test and maintain. Next one is you can make use of the flexibility development with the help of source control system that you are using. Coming to the non-gaps, the first one is the components cannot be deleted from the package. However, there is a pilot program available for deleting the packages. For that you will need to contact Salesforce. And package versions cannot be deprecated in 2GP, and Apex version provider is not supported by 2GP. The last one is the default language for labels in packages cannot be specified in case of 2GP. I have added all the references that I have referred for this particular session. Finally, if you have any questions, please do let me know. I will be happy to answer all your questions. Once again, thank you team. Thank you so much.